Okay, guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the fitness game. We are live today and we are welcoming one of my friends, Terence, from Singapore.
Hey, what up?
Voilà,
Hi.
it's brand new. It's something we've never did before. I hope the sound's gonna be amazing. I hope you're gonna hear
Yeah,
us
yeah.
properly. Terence is here with us live from Singapore, and we're gonna talk about Rehab. So I will let you introduce yourself, Terence, and talk with our viewers about who are you, what you're doing in the business, and what is Rehab.
Hi. I'm Terence. I'm a conditioning coach. Okay, so what I do, okay, in general, what I do is I focus my trainings on which is really focused on rehab, and the essence of retraining. Okay, and at the end of the day, if you ask me, I'm actually a university student. So what that means is that I have this extra added knowledge to actually pursue what I want. And if you ask me, and I think to put it in this way, I'm actually a student that wants to pursue sport medicine in the future. So that's why I'm in the fitness industry. I'm coach. I've coached women. I've coached. I've actually have an array of experience from disabled people, right, to even pregnant women, from pre-pregnancy to post-pregnancy. Yeah. So back to you, Arnaud. It's really back to you.
Okay, back to me. So let's make it very easy, Terence. Let's start, for example, as a common question. What is the first move, the first reaction that a professional athlete should have when he sustains an injury, for example?
Right. Scientifically, it's proven that the moment you find that you're injured, okay, it is advisable to just stop. Okay, stop your exercise. Aside from that, you should actually do the rise technique, which is you raise slash elevate the injured part of the body, right? And then at the end of the day, you gotta ice that part to reduce inflammation. Okay, so why? Why do you reduce inflammation? So you know where or what is going on in the body. So aside from that, it really is a lot of waiting time. Okay, so recovery, right? Okay, in general, recovery from swelling takes about 3 to 4 days. In general, okay, so 4 days takes about. So when that swelling dies down, then that's where you know how bad the injury is. So I think that is what we should do the moment we realize that okay, I'm injured. This is what I gotta do. I gotta stop. I gotta rest. Don't do anything stupid and just rest. Ice it and then just get maybe see a doctor if you need to.
Hmm. Okay,
Yep.
got it. So let's push it a bit deeper because it's very interesting. So, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
I sustained an injury. I pop my knee in training. I'm a wrestler. Okay, so as you say, I elevate my knee. I sit. Uh, tell us more about that. So when I come back home, because after I have to get like a daily routine. Well, I'm losing my earpiece. I need to get that daily routine to get to recover properly to get that 100% mobility. Uh, you're gonna tell me that each injury is different, but what would you advise me to do on the side of just going to see a doctor and get a proper education with a good
Hey,
physiotherapist, I guess?
yeah, okay. I think in the rehab side of fitness, okay, it is advisable. In the first thing before you start going to do even after that swelling dies off and all that, right? I think it's important to look at three things. Okay, first is mobility. Okay, have you lost mobility of your joints? Have you lost the mobility of your muscles? Okay, I think that's the first point because sometimes people tend to have this thing called DOMS. So it's delayed. So it's delayed muscle cramps. So what that does is actually you need to observe. Okay, observe how bad the swelling is or the how bad immobility is. Right. So next
Mm.
is there tender pain? Right? Is there sharp pain when you move? I think that is really important because that is really the difference between torn ligament versus a sprained ligament. So that's the second point. I think the third one, okay, and if you ask me, the third one, which is I think most important, is observe. Do you have any? Is there any like I call that bumps? Okay, example for fractures. Okay, you realize that there are actually bumps when you feel the bone. So like this bone, right? Okay, you actually feel that there might be a bump. So that is inflammation, but and a bit of contusion in some sense, okay, and it is a sign that something is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the best is see a doctor, okay, and if you ask me, is surgery required? I think you need to observe these three things first before you consider surgery.
So let's go into it, for example, because that's interesting. What if I need surgery? If I need surgery and go through surgery, I think the rehabilitation is more difficult, right?
Okay, so surgery, okay, if you ask me, okay, um, okay, I'll just give you my personal opinion, okay. So before surgery, okay, I would highly recommend physiotherapy before you go for surgery, because what that does is actually
What is it?
yeah. So
Can you come back on it? That's very interesting.
okay, so what I recommend is pre-surgery physiotherapy or
Voilà,
rehab.
pre-surgery physiotherapy. So tell
Yeah.
us about that a bit, because many people
Okay, so what that
like me
does,
don't
okay,
know what it is.
yeah, okay. I'll be glad to explain that. Okay. So
Please.
what pre-surgery rehab does is it gets your body, okay, the muscles to have that reconnection, or we call it neuromuscular control. So neuromuscular control is such that when you're injured, okay, your brain generally fires less signals to that muscle simply because you are unable to use as much force, as much pressure, or use as much power, or you are not able to produce that much power, right? So pre-surgery rehab is important. It helps you get the muscular control, the neuromuscular control. Because the moment you go for surgery, you will definitely need to go for things like plyometrics. You need to go for strength and conditioning. And the best is to gain that amount of strength, okay, that's so much more substantial. Okay, so I'll give you an example, an analogy in percentage, okay. You're at 100%, okay. Arnaud, you know that we're all somehow injured, right? Okay, when we get injured, okay, somehow it's like 100% tank. It gets cut by 50%, right? Okay, so when we go for pre-surgery rehab, it means that we are actually increasing that 50% capacity all the way to 90 or even 80. So when you go for surgery, from 80 you're gonna minus another 30. So you're gonna go back to 50. Okay. So what it
Yeah,
does is
got
you
your point.
have regained muscular control. Okay. Versus you go you get injured, you don't do anything. Next thing you know, from 50 you're all the way down to 25. So that makes your recovery time so much more longer.
Mm, okay, got it. Got it.
If you get what I mean, because it is costly. Okay, I'll be honest, it is costly to go for pre-surgery rehab, but it does help when it comes to
It make a
recovery.
huge difference. Yeah, I got your point. I got your point. So step by step, like pre surgery rehab, surgery, and what's next?
Okay, so after surgery, hospitals
Voilà.
require you to go for about 3 weeks of non excessive load bearing. So that means that they don't give you weights; they just make you do body weight or even isometric training. So what that means is that you're sitting on a machine, just trying to get the balance up. So you don't load bear, you don't even lift weights. You just use your body weight to lift. So that's the first step of rehab. So that's the first step, which is I call it the retraining process. So that means that your neuromuscular control is restarting all over again. Okay, so then the second step, okay, is more of like the start. It's a step where where you start building basic technical strength. So it's like when we deadlift but without the weights, without the plates. So we do deadlifts without the plates, without the rounded plates, right? So we do that to actually get the brain, and muscles to work together. So that is the second step. So for the third, okay, is where strength and conditioning / functional strength comes in. So why we need that? Because when you're injured, okay, you will never be at the same capacity you were once pre-surgery. So what we're trying to do is get you towards 100%, which will never get there. So you're looking at 90 to 95% capacity of pre-surgery. So that's the third step. I think fourth is where we would say we follow up. Okay, so that means that you are, and that research has actually shown that people are able to regain the strength to a point where they are even stronger than pre-surgery conditions. So that those are rare cases, but very highly much possible, and that's what we do.
Okay. Supplements wise, Terence, I'm sure you know about supplementation. I'm a big fan about supplementation. But for the rehab, I'm sure there is some supplements that we can take to improve, to increase, to accelerate the recovery of the athlete.
Okay. So supplements again. Okay, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Okay, Arnaud.
Sorry.
Supplements are not required. Supplements are not required. Okay, let's be really real here. Okay. I'm not going to name any brands out there, but
I have one question. I have one question for you. Yeah. So, what all the myths behind glucosamine, chondroitin, all those supplements who are known to help like loosen up the joints, ligaments? Tell us.
Yes. Okay, so from a nutritionist point of view, okay, it is proven that the nutrition that you get from glucosamine, glutamine, and all those stuff, okay, it actually can come from food. You know? It's like protein. You don't need protein shakes because what can you do? You can just take an extra portion of chicken breast, or for the vegan option, it's tofu, right? Take a bit more. You have the amount of protein. You have a decent amount of protein you have for your basic metabolic consumption rate. And if you ask me, glucosamine, or even example things like vitamin D, why do people take? Because some people actually work indoors. You know, we work from home. There's no sunlight, so what we need pills like that. Okay, maybe, and even for elderly, okay, glucosamine is actually proven to actually help the elderly in some sense, but it does not help them gain. It doesn't actually exactly help them get better because it's not a sustainable process for them. Imagine you having to pay another $85 a month extra, right? Versus you taking your natural food and just having a general diet, a healthy diet. Because with a healthy diet, you can actually get all the nutrition you need. You don't need protein, you don't need glucosamine, unless say you are really so sedentary to the point where you work indoors, you sleep indoors, and all you do is stay at home. So what's the cure? Physical exercise and proper diet. You don't need supplements.
Let's go back to that subject. I'm very interested about that because me and diet, fitness, that's my go-to move. Diet-wise, what would be the perfect diet for a recovery guy? For a guy who was in a recovery process post-surgery, for example.
Okay, so you're asking for diet for post-surgery, is it?
Like, let's make it vague, but still, I want that people who are watching this video for the first time, who are trying to understand a bit about this rehab concept that you are an expert, understand that there is some food that can visibly help to accelerate the recovery post-surgery, for example.
Okay. So for post-surgery, okay, it is recommended that you take a lot more protein, okay, to cover the muscle loss. Okay, so what happens is that when you don't train your muscle long enough, okay, post-surgery, okay, you have this thing called muscle atrophy. So that means your muscle has lost its size. Okay, size is one. Okay, you have lost the size and strength. Okay, so what you really need, okay, is actually strength. That comes the protein, okay, that is used to help with muscle recovery. Because you are training at a load with an injured feet or injured foot or injured shoulder, right? Okay, where you are using so much power, so much strength, your muscle just doesn't have enough nutrition to just cover, whatever you've lost. So protein protein is required, okay? Fiber is required. Not just that, you need a lot of vitamins because all these things actually help build your muscle. They help you build your body to become a stronger. It's like a structure of a building. You become a stronger building over time. Protein is one, rest is one. You need both. If you don't have rest, you're gonna burn out, and burnout is the #1 reason why people get injured. It's not sustainable at all.
Okay. Nice, Terence. Love it. So let's finish this short interview for today. But tell us a bit more about you. Like what you are doing at the moment. Where are you? Where are you teaching? Are you actually at your gym?
Okay. Okay. So I happen to be. On my side, okay, I actually happen to be in my own academic side, right? Okay, in my own academic side, I'm actually spearheading the TikTok channel for my sports side, sports and exercise science. Okay, and aside from that, I'm actually a fitness instructor under Sports Singapore. It's a government gym, and aside from that, I'm actually a trainer. I started my own personal training site, right? And it is great. It's really great because the school which I'm in, which is Edinburgh Napier University, has actually given me this opportunity to just push my agenda out and really just focus on what I need to. And I think I really thank God that I have been given a lot. And if you ask me, fitness is something that I really want to do for a long time. And yeah, I'm here to stay, man. Terence is a trainer. It's not going anywhere.
I wish it, my man. Okay, that's gonna be enough for today. Terence, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing with you your knowledge, your skills, and I'm sure we're gonna make other video. For you guys who follow us on the fitness game, don't hesitate to subscribe, to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner.
Subscribe to Arnaud. He loves
and
us.
I will wish you an amazing day, Terence. See you soon.
Thank you.
See you soon, guys.
Thanks. Cheers. Love
See you
you, bro.
soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.